All right, hustlers, we are live. You have the one and only La Machine here with the lovely Miss Karen. This is what to sell on Amazon, where we talk all things selling on Amazon using the arbitrage business model. But as usual, we want to get right to the work because we want to show you guys how to do this. Okay. At the end of the day, it's all about showing you how to source products. Now, there's a process to this, guys. So always remember basically what you want to do when you're sourcing products. You want to evaluate, you want to purchase the products, you want to process, and you're looking to identify replens. When you want to build your business, you have got to have something solid. You want something that you can depend on, something that's giving you consistent sales. And once you get about 10 good replens, you'll really have your business in motion. If everybody can see my screen, Karen, are we seeing that?
Yes.
Okay, great. So what we're going to do is look at the first product that I found, and you can see that we're at Target. Now, around here, all roads lead to tactical arbitrage. So I actually used tactical arbitrage to find these products. We've got three products that we're going to look at, guys. You don't have to act on them. If you see something that we did wrong, go ahead and mention it. Call me out. That's what I'm here for. We're a family. But for anybody that's watching now, or if you're catching the replay, make sure that you sort of follow along, that you can get some of the types of numbers that myself and Miss Karen get. We're both six-figure sellers. So the first thing you're looking at, as you can see, it is a folding travel toothbrush. It's a 2 count and it's selling for $269. You might have a tax situation. Now, again, we found that using the software Tactical Arbitrage. We're not going to get deep into that at the moment. Hold on one second.
Well, I'll take this time to say hello to
Save.
everyone.
What, did you want to say something real quick?
No, I just said hello to everyone.
Oh, okay. Um, but yeah, we use the software Tactical Arbitrage, and with that, we've got plenty of videos on that. There'll be plenty of links in the description. So if you really want to learn how to use it, we've got videos in, but we will have a segment. So stick around, guys. We will have a segment today where we talk about how to set up a reverse search. That's a type of search you can do in the software. So we found that folding toothbrush is a 2 count. It's $269. Now, the next thing you want to do, you want to find that product on Amazon. Now, you have it. It's the travel toothbrush. It's 2 count. Now, before anybody even notices, you'll notice in the description right up top, it says battery powered. When we look over that, I think that's a miss. I don't think that's correct, because I'm looking at the images. There's nowhere a battery could even be. And when you compare those images to what you have on Target, you're looking at the exact same. Now, a lot of times if you're not sure, you can go into the ratings and perhaps you'll see somebody that may have made a comment about it, and I don't see anything. But I'm pretty sure you can even ask, you can go out and ask a question yourself just to be sure about that. But like I said, I'm pretty sure. Now, another thing you'll notice is a suppressed buy box. So you can see, what are we looking at? We're most likely going to send this in. So we're going to filter down to prime and new. What I'm looking at the stock count. I'm looking at the prices. I'm looking at how many sellers, right? We don't have too many sellers, but we have enough to where we know it's not private label. And you know, this brand wouldn't be private label anyway. We'll take a quick glance at the keeper chart. It's nothing crazy, right? It's not off the rails here, but there is some velocity. It's showing about what would be estimated at 16 units a month. I'm going to click on the Hummingbird app. That's an extension that you do get with the software Tactical Arbitrage. It's estimating 9. And remember, guys, you're not putting out a lot of money for this, and people do use toothbrushes. A lot of times when you're using your tools, that's just a tool. It's a guide. When you do this long enough, you're going to get better and better at learning, what sells. You're just going to get better at the skill of sourcing. Okay. Now, once you go through what you just saw us do, the next thing you want to do is make sure that you can make a profit. You can use the free revenue calculator that looks like that. I use Inventory Labs Research Scout. And so you can see this isn't including any tax that you might have to pay. This isn't including the price you would have to pay to get it into the warehouse. But as you can see, you got plenty of return on investment. So, it's not a bad deal to put out $2.70, get that $2.70 back plus another $3. Those numbers are not impressive alone. But if you start to stack up deals like this and your budget continues, your entire budget, imagine if your entire budget was giving you these types of returns, so that instead of looking at putting out 270, maybe you were putting out 270, 2,700 and getting those types of returns. They are possible. You got to do the work. So let's take a look.
Horace?
Yeah, go for it.
You mentioned that this would likely be one that you send in for FBA. Could you just explain how you came to that conclusion so quickly? I know exactly why you did, because looking at the return of $7 and whatever the number was, $7.61, shipping would cost about $6, right? Somewhere between $4 and $6. You're not sure, right?
Yeah, I imagine it would be pretty light. But yeah, at least $4 anyway.
At least $4. So you could merchant fulfill it. You could, but that'd be pretty tight.
Well, we had it pre-filled out at a $4 shipping cost, and I'm still happy with an 85, 86% return.
Oh, that's a big return, really. So it's just a relatively small dollar amount, but it's a big return.
It is. And you might find that you may sell more merchant fulfilled. It just depends. We've talked at length about the different things, different factors when it comes to whether or not you're going to have a lot of sales when you merchant fulfill versus FBA. Typically, the assumption is when you go FBA, you're going to get the lion's share. That's just not always the case. And I can't wait until you and I, Karen, face off. Hustlers, it's coming. We're going to have
down, Horace.
Karen told me I was going down.
You're going down.
No. Now I'm mad. We're going down. We're going to have a face off. Merchant fulfill versus FBA.
Yeah, you're not going to win. But I tell you what, I would merchant fulfill. I wouldn't mind merchant fulfilling this just because it's lightweight. And because it's lightweight, that it's not, there's no way it's ever going to cost more than, say, $6 to ship it. So probably more like $4 to ship it. You can just, no matter where it goes. So I would merchant fulfill that one.
Okay. So let's pull out for a second and take a moment to acknowledge the working class hustlers who are so kind to join us. We don't have a lot of people out here, but that means you guys got us all to yourselves. For those who are out here, please give us a like. It looks like we've got people helping us out there. So remember, we don't know you're here. We can't acknowledge you if you don't leave any comments. So please do. If you have any questions, you're a working class hustler. You have the authority to interrupt us so that we can give you our attention. Okay. And we got another little special treat for you. But before we do that, we got to get right back into the value for you guys. Looks like just keeping up with our time, guys. We're going to keep it to a hard hour today, so don't dilly-dally. If you have any comments, anything that you'd like us to share, let us know. All right. So let's go back to work. Again, staying in the health and beauty category, which is a great category to be in. We're looking at Oral-B Click Toothbrush, Ultimate Clean Replacement Brush Heads Black. It's a 2 count. So guys, stay on top of me, because you know the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have the right product. Again, for anybody just coming in or watching the replay, we use the software Tactical Arbitrage to come up with these leads. If you want to learn how to use that, look in the comments. We've got plenty there. But a lot of you guys pay very close attention. You guys, you got your I's dotted, your T's crossed. So if we got something wrong here, let us know. But the next thing you want to do, and again, the software told me that we should be spending roughly $11. Of course, you're probably going to have tax depending on where you are. So you want to make sure you got the right price. Then you want to find that product. Look, the software gives you the link to that product. So here we go again, looking at the product on Amazon. Oral-B Click Toothbrush Replacement Brush Heads Black. It's a 2 count. A lot of times you just want to kind of match up the picture if you can. And it could vary. They change sometimes. Let's see now. Now here we go again with the suppressed buy box. So that means you generally are going to have a higher price. I typically filter the prime and the new, but you're gonna make your call there depending on, you know, your preferred way to fulfill the orders. So if you're going to spend roughly $11 and you can see it selling for roughly an average of $22, again, the next thing I'm doing is just kind of making sure they're pretty clear here. Sometimes it can be a little foggy, a little fuzzy, but it's a 2 count pack of 1. You got a nice keeper chart, so you should be okay with that. And then the next thing you want to do is whatever software you're using to evaluate. There are plenty of them out there, but looking at the FBA side, if you're going to list it for around $22, you're going to pay around $11. Remember, you always got to factor in your tax. You always got to factor in the cost to ship the product in. But even then, you're getting a pretty nice return on a product that people need, right? There's really not too much buyer's remorse when it comes to staple items like toothbrushes, toothpaste, mouthwash, things like that. You can really build a business on. So let's double check. Let's pull back for a second and see if we got any comments, or anybody might have joined us. No comments out there. Okay, guys, don't forget, if you have questions, that's what we're here for. Working Class Hustlers of America, we got a special little treat for you. The lovely Miss Karen is actually joining us from Las Vegas right now. What time did you?
No, I'm not.
Wait a minute, where you at? Why did I think Vegas?
I was supposed to be in Vegas.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute.
That's a whole nother story. It's a whole nobody
Lord
wants to
have
hear
mercy.
about it.
All right,
Flights canceled like crazy. I'm
let me
supposed
try
to
to
be at
let
the
me
ASD show.
Lord have mercy. Let me try this again. Because I know I'm not. I'm dreaming. Something's wrong. Okay. Something's wrong.
I'm
See,
supposed to be
because
at ASD.
you're supposed to be at ASD, which stands for
Oh, we need Mikey for that. I can't remember, but it's a huge trade show where vendors, there's a zillion Amazon sellers there, there's educational workshops. It's a whole big deal.
and
But
it's in Vegas, right?
it's in Vegas, but you know
Okay.
what? They're having storms in Vegas and
Oh,
flights were canceled like crazy. So oh well, maybe I'll make it there tomorrow. I'll update you guys next week, maybe.
wow. You know what, hustlers? This is what it's all about. But as long as we're on the topic, this would have been, or if you make it tomorrow, it's going to be what, your third time attending?
Yes.
So tell us what it is that you get out of it, because if you've been going every year and this was going to be the third year consecutively, there's your actions are telling us there's value there. So what is it that you get out of attending that expo?
There is value. You can meet vendors face to face as
Mhm.
opposed to sending a email or into a black hole or making multiple calls when you're trying to get wholesale accounts. You can talk to the vendors right there
Mhm.
and make arrangements. You can set up a purchase. You can make a purchase right there. You can find, if you want to take your, common items that you might sell and create a bundle so that it then becomes your listing. It's a great place to find an inexpensive add on. For instance, I don't know. I can't think of anything. Let's just say one of your replens is soy sauce, and you want to find maybe inexpensive chopsticks and a noodle bowl to add
Mhm.
in. You photograph those, create a listing. Nobody can get on your listing because they can't find that exact set of chopsticks and bowl that you found for $1.50 a unit at ASD. You get to meet so many other sellers. Um, it's great. There's meetups. It's great.
Mhm.
It's a lot of fun.
Can you help us sort of visualize for those that are watching or maybe catching the replay? A lot of times, as you're talking about something like this, in that moment, we kind of visualize. is- This isn't something that you can't walk the entire floor in a day, could you?
You
Or is this something you
you
need to
could
plan
not. You can't walk the entire floor in the day. The Las Vegas Convention Center is huge, and there's two or three sections that they occupy. It is huge. They have international sellers. They have domestic sellers. Housewares, clothing, CBD products, toys, everything. And I see Nate has joined us. Nate and Elizabeth, a year or two ago, before I ever went to a show, they gave us a sneak peek, and I thought I
Mhm.
have to go. So they know all about it, but he's saying it's windy and cold there, and they're waiting for snow. So that's really
Oh,
shutting them. But
yeah.
any rate, it's an incredible opportunity. I go as much to meet other sellers and learn sort of one on one from them about their experiences as I do. I go to look for potential purchases too.
Mhm. I've gone to my share of expos, and because I tend to stay with consumables.
Mhm.
Whether I initially I come from the supplement background, I got into snack foods. So when
Mhm.
I go to an event, you have to picture me with bags full of samples that these vendors are giving you. Is it the same way at that place? Like you get a lot of samples, a lot of
You
these.
they've really cut back, I feel, on the samples, but catalogs forever. And again, just making those face-to-face contacts.
Mhm.
Some of them don't even have glossy catalogs, but rather you can exchange a business card and they'll send you their catalog, a spreadsheet that you can download and search for products. So, but yes, there's some giveaways too. I tend to not want to carry all that kind of business back. If I'm not going to use it, I don't take it.
Mhm. Are they offering like the ones that I've gone to? They actually have classes that you can attend. Sign up for that'll teach you different things about business and stuff. Is it the same way there,
It
or have you?
is. There are quite a few classes. The last time I was here, I sat in on a session with an attorney that talked to us about our rights with respect to selling brand name products and IP claims and what our options are. And yeah, it's great. It's great. You
Nice.
can learn a lot. You learn a lot. And I also use it, quite honestly, as kind of a business retreat time for myself to
Hmm.
just focus on my business and zero in without all the distractions of
Yeah.
doing shipments of any type. Just focus on the business.
Yeah, I'd like to do that myself. Get out there, meet some people. I like the planning. A lot of times when you get to these places, they almost give you like a program, and you can kind of see and map out which booths you want to visit and stuff like
They
that.
absolutely do. In fact, they recommend that you do that, that you map it out because it's too much to consume. You can't do it all. But I'll tell you the other thing that's great about the ASD show. Number one, it's free. The registration is free. It
What?
costs nothing unless you wait until the day of. But if
Okay.
you register before you get to the show, it's 100% free for participants. Number two, you can register and never go. You still have access to all of the vendor lists, all of the information online, even if
Nice.
you don't go. So
All
that's
right.
pretty cool.
That's some great information for the working class hustler. So if you got any questions about that later on, and again, you may be watching the replay, shoot us a comment. If there's anything we can do to help you, you might be interested for next year or whatever. We'll
It's
answer any
twice a year.
questions.
Happens twice a year.
Oh, is it biannual? Okay, nice.
That's right. Next one will be in August. So
I can
think
see
about it,
where
folks.
I see Nate saying I should come out there. Yeah, you know what? I'll look into it. Uh Man, it's so great to hear from you. And again, any other hustlers, leave us a comment, thumbs up, let us know what's going on while we get into yet another product, because primarily we are here to give you guys the value. The next product we're looking at, and again, guys, we don't want to pick a lot of expensive products. We tend to work with a lot of beginners, and you might be limited with your capital, and you want to make sure that this is something that you really want to do before you start dumping a lot of money into inventory. Take your time, guys. You got to learn. Okay. You listen to me, Karen, people, Mikey, Elizabeth. We've been doing this for a while. So take your time. If you're going to do this business, you've got to put the work in. And remember, this is your tuition. But here we go again. We used the software Tactical Arbitrage to find this. It's not hard at all. It is time consuming. Okay. So I'm not going to try and fool you to think that the software is just going to do everything. The software puts data in front of you. Your ability to evaluate the data is going to determine whether or not you can be successful. So we're looking at this Scrub Daddy Power Paste plus Scrub Mommy dye free sponge. Are you familiar with this, Karen?
No, I am not. And you might see me looking down. I thought, let me see if I'm approved
you get your mommy and your daddy.
to
And you
scrub.
can clean house.
Great,
Okay. All
great.
right. So again, the software Tactical Arbitrage told us we should be paying about $10 for this. So you want to make sure you've got that. You want to make sure if you're trying to get it shipped, well, you're looking. Now, maybe you've got a Target in your area and you want to physically go there. That's no problem because you can use the software to do, merchant fulfilled, or even if you're going to do FBA, rather than have the product sent to you, which is online arbitrage, you can go to the store and pick up that product. There's advantages to that. Maybe we'll get into it. But the next thing you want to do is see if you've got the right product on Amazon. And again, the software is going to give you the link to where it's sourced. Initially, you want to kind of see if the pictures are matching. And it looks like we might have something, but we got to look a little bit further. Scrub Daddy Power Paste Bundle. Clay-based cleaning and polish scrub. Now watch. Includes 1 Scrub Mommy, 2 pieces. So it looks like this is 1 piece and that's the other. If you guys know something, leave a comment as we're moving on. Again, I see a suppressed buy box. Now, guys, if you follow me, you know I like a suppressed buy box. Some people in their criteria, they don't want to deal with it. If there's no buy box that they can control, or at least try to control or fight over, or whatever people do with these buy boxes, thinking that that's going to get the lion's share of the orders. I like it when there's not one. I like it when the customer has to do this. Instead of add to cart, the customer has to click here. And he's got to make a choice based on things we may never understand. We don't know what he's looking at. Maybe he likes the name of your company. Maybe he looks to see where it's located. Maybe he likes the number of ratings. I don't know. But he's not just going to throw it in his bag and have this experience where he just says, I bought from Amazon. No, with this scenario, he knows these are third-party sellers. You know what? Another thing I think I like about that, then when he's got a question or a problem, he realizes he's talking to me, not Amazon, or vice versa. But anyway, what am I doing? Once I open this up, I'm filtering because most likely I'm probably going to go FBA. Not necessarily, but I kind of want to look from there. I'm looking at the stock. Okay. Now listen. This says ships from Amazon and it's showing 500 stock. This is probably the price you're going to have to compete with. Okay. And if it's sitting in Amazon's warehouse and it says 500, there's a good chance there may actually be 500 in there. Now, if we come down and take a quick glance at the Keeper chart, and I see a lot of velocity. Okay. I see a lot of squares and triangles, and this is certainly a popular product. So if we got the right thing, I don't really see how you could go wrong with this. Now, again, go back and let's see how many sellers we got. About 8, roughly, right? Or are there more? Let me see here. I'm counting about 8, but there may be more. Yep, it says 8 options. So that's not a whole lot. What would you say to that, Karen? 8?
No, that's not too bad.
That ain't too bad. I mean, when you're looking at a Keeper chart like this, you're going to get yours. If you're right in the pocket, everybody's right around $22, maybe $23. They all pretty much seem to be offering free shipping. Let's take a look. The next step we want to do is see if we can make any money. We've got to spend roughly $11, we're going to say. And let's see if that, it may take a minute. My computer is a little slow. So let me move some stuff around. Okay. Yeah, that looks more like it. About a 30% return on investment, probably a little bit less after you factor in tax if you have it, after you factor in what it's going to cost you to get it into the warehouse. If you want to look at merchant fulfilled, with which I probably would, I don't know how heavy that would be. We'd have to look, but
I don't think it's very heavy.
I don't
I think
either.
it's definitely under a pound.
Okay, so then that means it could go first class.
Right.
I don't know. First class has gotten a little expensive lately, but
$6 though, $6 or less.
yeah, we could go with that. So in that case, I might, it just depends, guys. I might go ahead and say, not enough return on investment. But then again, I might say no. I'll go ahead and get it. A lot of times what you may not think right off the bat. Someone that goes and buys this product, a lot of times they may stick 2 of them or 3 of them in their cart. That's going to change things. You follow?
Right.
So you got to factor that in, and you don't know until you start selling them. Sometimes I just like the velocity of it. I can live with 15%. Okay. Return on investment.
Was the Target offering the bundle though?
Well, they're calling it looks like you get this box, and so you get the
Oh, I
paste.
see. Got it. Yes, it is. It's a bundle. It's the brush, the sponge and the paste. Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure.
You didn't say it right. It's the mommy and
Oh,
daddy.
the mommy. Sorry, the mommy and the daddy.
Now I'm mad.
That's
So anyway,
kind of strange, weird to me. I don't think I even want to say that. I don't like it.
It's the name. That's the name of it.
It's kind of creepy to me, but okay, carry on.
Well, let's take a look. Looks like we've got 10 people out here with us. We love you guys, working class hustlers. Please leave us a comment, give us a thumbs up. Let us know that you appreciate us as much as we love and appreciate you. If you have any questions, please drop them out here. That's our favorite part, is seeing whether or not we can help you. Guys, we love your attention, but at the end of the day, around here, we want to roll up our sleeves and we want to do the work. So if you're ready to get this paper, let's get it. We're going to take a moment and we're going to talk about something that's very, very important. So follow along. If you're consuming content the way we do, a lot of times you'll see people like me and others talking about the types of numbers that they do. Oh, I did 20,000 this month. I did 10,000 this month. I did this, I did that. And what we want to do, we want you to think about, okay, if you want those types of numbers, what should you be expecting to put out in a budget? How much do you think you're going to spend? Because you've got to buy the inventory. Guys, you already know you make the money when you buy. So how much are you going to have to buy to see the type of revenue that you're seeing? Let's quantify this. You're watching these gurus, these content creators, and they're talking about make $10,000 a month, make $50,000 a month, make $100,000 a month. And all of that sounds good to you. But are you then turning around and looking up and to the left and saying, well, if I want to make $100,000 a month in revenue, how much am I going to spend on inventory? Does anybody ever ask that? Leave a comment if you're out here right now with the working class hustles of America and all across the globe. Do you ever stop and think, for planning purposes, hey, I got a goal? Because we all like these videos where we talking about goals, right? Because you got to have a goal. Well, what if your goal is, hey, I want to get to where I'm making 100, well, I'm doing 100,000 a month in revenue. How much do you, in your plans, because you're planning, right? How much do you plan on spending to purchase the inventory? Let me give you an example. Or did you have a comment on that before I even start opening stuff up?
No, go ahead. I've got some just general thoughts on it, but you go ahead.
Okay. Now, we're going to take a quick look. And again, we're inside of the software that I love. It's called Inventory Lab. And you can see back in January I did the better part of 15,000, okay? Now, when you come over to this pie chart, now of course the pie chart is showing for the entire, well, it's showing for January and February. So what we'll do is we're going to take this over to monthly. And so now this pie chart is showing just the expenses for January. Okay. And I can tell you right now, this is wrong. You see this cost of goods about 1900 when I did almost 15,000. That's not right. I did a quick calculation before this show. So you can take that about 1900 and add another 4,500. We're going to round up. Add another 6,000. So about 8,000 I had to spend just in inventory, okay? So then you had expenses, and if you hover over that, you notice it doesn't just say expenses, it says selling fees. Remember, guys, you got to pay to play. Amazon gonna get theirs. You ain't doing this for free. When you say selling fees, what kind of fees? Well, they're storing your product, they're picking, they're packing. Oh, you may say, well, I'm merchant fulfilling. Well, you still gonna pay. They're getting you for 15% off the bat. So, we thought that it's important enough for you to be thinking in terms of, hey, think about it, guys. If you're watching me and you're saying, wow, I'd like to do 15,000. Well, finish the sentence. I'd like to do 15,000 and I'm ready to spend 8,000. Is that making sense? Leave a comment. Karen, what would you like to add to that?
Well, this is something I've become really, really, really interested in because I don't know what there's got to be a formula, and I'm not sure what the formula is. But all I know is, and of course, you probably don't remember this. You've got a lot of content, so you probably don't remember what's in all of them. But at some point, I watched one of your videos. It was a long time ago. And essentially what you said was, oh, well, if you want to make more money, then you have to spend more money. It probably means that you're not spending enough. And a light bulb went off in my head. I think a lot of times we think, well, we'll invest X number of dollars in inventory. We'll send that in, and then we'll wait for all the returns, great returns to come flowing back, and then we'll have that money and then we'll buy some more. But Amazon doesn't quite work that way. It's more of a velocity. Sale velocity has a lot to do with how much you're selling, how many offerings you have. That's why we typically in retail arbitrage are talking about going wide as opposed to deep. Perhaps when you're using the private label model, maybe you maybe have one or two products that you're just selling. But in retail arbitrage, we tend to have tens and hundreds of products because they, stop and start with the sales all the time. So at any rate, I'm really interested in. I hope to be able to come back with some kind of formula that gives us some sort of idea. But bottom line is, if you want to make thousands, you're spending thousands every month. You're spending thousands. And when I first started spending more to make more, it was horrifying. I'm telling you, it was horrifying. I remember putting like $5,000 on a credit card and just being mortified. But it did come back. It really did start to come back then. And I do find the more I spend, the more I make. And I just can't find enough time to spend enough to make as much as I really would like to. I don't have the capacity to do it all being a one person shop. But you want to make more, bottom line, spend more and get comfortable with the notion that you're not going to make what you thought you were going to make on every item. Sometimes you got to come to grips with, look, if you can get your money back, if you can sell it at break even so that you can get your money back so that you can buy something else, it's better to do that than let it sit for months and months trying to get your price, which you may never get.
Right.
So
Oh,
that's just my general thoughts.
I'm so glad you brought this up though, because it's true. You A lot of times we're just, as beginners, our focus isn't on the most important part. Okay, you make money when you buy. So when you're ready to start making more money, you have to start buying. Now listen, some of you don't have a lot of money, and that's okay. But every dime has to go back into the business. You're not taking anything out. Now listen, if you do this long enough, you'll know. You'll know when it's time. You'll have enough experience. It's going to be scary, but you will have earned the right to really start to expand. A lot of people give you these horror stories because they jumped in, started buying a whole lot of inventory and spending a lot of money before they really knew what they were doing. It takes some time, guys, to get your legs underneath you. You know, we were talking the other day, Karen, and you mentioned something important. Amazon don't know you. When you first come out here, you think they're going to give you you know, enough opportunity to screw up with their customers? You got to earn your right, and they'll start sending you more orders. They've got to divide them up generally among other people. In most cases, you're not going to be the only seller on that listing. And they're not going to give it to you. They're testing you out at first. So it might take a little patience. And I think what you were saying was, even when we're looking at the graphs, the numbers, the charts, and it says, oh, this is selling, 300 units a month. And then you're sitting on the products like, why aren't mine moving? Well, Amazon don't know
Because
you.
they don't know you and they don't know if you're going to come through. And so
Exactly.
sometimes it's real, especially early on. High profit margin is probably not what you're going for. You probably really want to go for velocity. And Nate has made some comments here. He says it's called feeding the beast. Right. They want to see that you're consistent, that you have regular offerings and inventory available. And Nate saying, remember, we said you run out of money before you fill out your inventory. So that's the part that takes time too, because it does.
Absolutely. What do we got here? You know what? I might as well take a look and make sure, because Oral-B as a brand may be restricted. Is that right?
Some items on Oral-B are restricted, and some aren't. So you just want to check it out.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah, let's
want to
do
check out specific items with Oral-B. Some are restricted, some aren't. So you just don't know.
okay.
What's kind of
Uh
cool about this, Horace, is that we're doing this. As we do this, I plug in the items and see if I'm restricted. And sometimes it says that I am not authorized. But then I click the button and see if I can get auto ungated. Sometimes I get auto ungated. Sometimes, even though I've been out here for a while, they say, no dice, Miss Karen. No, you cannot. So it's good to just keep
well, I want
trying.
to
You just keep trying everything. Keep trying. You never know.
absolutely. I'm taking
Eldrick,
a
Eldrick
moment to
says,
go into that search that I did because I want to see that might be a product I want to sell. So I'm going to see if I'm
yeah, you should check it
restricted,
out.
and I might be.
Eldrick says, scares me to death. He's talking about, I think he's talking about the expenditure. But
Yeah.
see, here's the thing. If you don't go in too deep with any given product, it's going to even out. It's going to balance out. So I sell some things at break even. I have some things that I make 300, 500 ROI on. I have some things that I make 10% ROI. It ends up evening out if you
Hmm.
don't go too deep. Don't go buying 50 because yeah, that's gonna be
That could
problematic
that could
problem.
be bad, huh?
That could be real bad for you.
Let's take a look. This is, guys, I wasn't going to get into this, but this is what your results look like when you're working in tactical arbitrage. And what you'll notice is in this search, I did a specific search through these results. I just typed in the keyword oral, and then you can see some Oral-B products coming up. And what I like about the software is I can just check my restrictions right here. I can just click across that. And like Karen was saying, I may find myself restricted on some of them. Um, I'm not up to this point, but I'd have to find that product. Was this it? Yeah. Yeah, it looks
Click.
like I'm okay, but that doesn't mean that you're going to be able to sell it. So just keep that in mind, guys. If you use the software, it does have a feature to let you know real quick if you're restricted. Don't forget, you can text the words working class hustler to the number that you see on your screen, and the hustlers will tell you we do get back. The lovely Miss Karen and myself, La Machine, we do consulting. Now, we've got our own businesses to run. So we don't take that many people. So if you reach out to us and we can't take you right now, it's because people are coming, and we're going to give you our attention. And I mean real attention. That takes time. So, but it's okay. If you need help, a lot of times you've bought a course. See, this is the part they don't tell you about. After you buy that course and you still ain't making no money, then what? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what these gurus is telling y'all, but whoo, I tell you what, we've been talking to the hustlers. Some of y'all need some help, and we're here for that. We're here for that. But if you need that free consultation, it would be our pleasure to look at your case, tell us all about it. We want to hear the whole story. So text the number on your screen and we will get back with you. Let's see how much time we got. Oh, we've got about 3 minutes, guys. So let's make sure Let me see. B. Christopher says, thanks for the Saturday stream. Love it. Oh, E Pluribus Unum is out there again. Thanks for showing up, man. We love you for it. If you haven't given us a thumbs up, please do that. Who's this? Eldrick Flowers, 4 years in selling on Amazon and just started doing it full time this year. Congratulations. A little bit nervous, like a rookie just beginning. That's okay. That's okay. You nervous? That means there's growth. That means you're growing. That means there's much to be gained. When you comfortable, there's no growth there. Why you comfortable? Because you didn't did it already. You ain't learning nothing. But I have another quick announcement, and I want to thank my team, Jim and the lovely Miss Karen, because they were supposed to remind me of something, and I'm so glad they did, because I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to leave. See, no. I hear Jim in my ear. I don't want to hear it. I just want to say thank you for not letting me forget. So, yeah. Guys, we are going to be going private for those of you who would like to get on a private Zoom call with the Working Class Hustlers. It's a lot of fun. We used to do it. We stopped doing it. We're going to do it back again. What you're going to learn, and again, if you're on the replay, that you're watching the replay, it's okay. Again, all you need to do is text the words. Well, actually, just text me at the number on your screen and let me know that you'd like to get in the private Zoom call. All right. And what you would love about it is this: everybody gets a camera, everybody gets a microphone. That means everybody has a voice and everybody works together. There's a lot more information. There's a lot more gems and nuggets. What'd you say, Jim? My producer's in my ear. Oh, yeah. When you come out, you probably want to have headphones for that so we don't get echo. But yeah, all of your questions, a lot of people want to know how to get ungated. They want to know what categories. There's just a lot of things that we talk about as a private group. So if you're interested in that, make sure you text me that number on your screen and let me know. That way we can reach out to you. And we should be starting that next week. That means we probably will not be live on YouTube next week. We'll be in the private group. If that changes, we'll let you know. But yeah, guys, we're gonna have to service. So we got different people out here. We got the newbies, and I love you guys. All right. If I was a teacher, it would be kindergarten. or maybe I'd say K through middle school. But what happens once you get out of middle school? I might be wrong. I might have forgotten about you. And we got to make sure we take care of the OGs, right? So, and again, it's a lot of fun. So, yep. All right, guys, we're going to check and make sure we didn't have any last questions, comments. Oh, I see Maurice Bushrod says, great information. Thanks, man. It was our pleasure. That's what we're here for. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and enjoy the rest of my Saturday. On behalf of the lovely Miss Karen, this is La Machine at What to Sell on Amazon. Respecting your mind, your time, and most definitely your grind. We've tried to show you how to get this paper. It's time for me to go get mine. Good night. Good night, everybody. Good night.